Hello everyone, my name is Cherry ASMR, and today for my first video, I'll be doing a fan fiction reading of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, Sun and Moon, and the title of the story is called Hey Princess by the author known as Artsy is Bored. So without further ado, let's get started. Chapter 1. Both for you. The daycare attendant is lonely. Was it possible for a robot to feel alone and unwanted? The Pieceplex's wonderful robotic techs may have made their star attractions far too human than they really planned for, but the guests didn't seem to mind it. It was almost like they were just other humans. Just 7-foot tall humans in animal-like bodies covered in metal. But their AI was so advanced, it was hard to tell from over their speakers. Also, fair warning, I might stutter, so, yeah. The daycare attendant had been a little more finicky compared to the others. His shared systems with his other half took more than a dozen mechanics to even program him. Both of them. They were more expensive due to them nearly breaking down on a ton of times during their testing phase. The transformation cycle hadn't been perfectly fine the first time, causing both of them pain. The workers had finally worked out the kinks, so the transformation wasn't as painful as before. The Sun is cheerful and fun-loving. He was built with a human-like imagination, so the crew left most of the ideas to him or even the decorations. He was very skilled with his hands. His creative eye had helped more than once. While anyone else would see a stack of messy crayons and paper scraps, Sunny would perk up before turning the scraps into little ringlets for the children to wear decked out with glued-on rhinestones. The gesture was sweet and caring, knowing basic first aid and his caring protocol. He knew how to comfort a fussy child or one who wasn't having the best day ever like the others. He was very intelligent, having a criminal database, able to tell when one was lying, knowing which guardians were assigned to pick up a child. He had impressive eyesight, able to see things from very far away and zoom in on them to identify them. He was always acutely aware of how many children were in the room with him. Days in the daycare could be hectic, but he always took his job with pride, caring to each child's needs and keeping them smiling and happy for as long as possible. A smile a day keeps the clouds away. That's what he always says. As for his other half, Moon kept watch over the children during nap time to keep them safe and to make sure they got the perfect amount of time to rest their heads. keep them as comfortable as possible, keep them out, keep everyone out. Moon could be a little strict, but it's all to keep the little kiddos protected. Sleep was important, whether they like it or not. He could play lullabies from the music box that was hidden in his chest. He always smelled like comforting lavender. Although they had each other and could speak to one another within their shared mind, both of them, mostly Sun, would admit that they always felt empty, like something was missing. Sun did get to see the Glamrocks often. They passed by, sure, but none of them really stopped by to talk to him or Moon. Chica did sometimes, but it never felt like it was enough. Sun wanted someone to finger paint with, someone to help him with the kids when they got too rowdy. More importantly, both he and Moon desired company during the late nights. They had each other, but it wasn't the same as having someone actually there with you to sit with and talk to. The daycare workers hardly helped him. Even he could get overwhelmed. Saturdays were the worst. He'd grown to dislike them. And Sun was hardly ever a downer. There would just be so many children to keep track of. He nearly tore his rays out from how many troublemakers he had to ban. Even some of the children started to notice his not so cheery smile. It seemed fake. He didn't seem as happy as he'd been before. It seemed slower. Well, he seemed slower. The mechanics gave him a full checkout, but there wasn't a single issue. Both of them were in perfect working order. Sun slumped in a big chair inside of the protective dome, laying on his head on the backs of his hands. He lets out a dramatic sigh. His rays wilted like a dead flower petals. What is it with you? One of the techs asked him, yet he only receives a sad glance from the solar jester. Okay, this is going to be part 1 of the first chapter, because according to the beginning of the story, like when you go on to Quotive and you're about to read a story, it shows you how many pages. It says this book has 54 pages, which is a lot. So, I'm gonna be making parts out of this. So, be sure to stick around if you're willing to listen more. Also, the stories that I'll be reading will be mostly fanfics or stories I write. So, these audios or videos, if you prefer, would be on my YouTube channel, which is called Malika Kitty Productions. I'll be sending a link later. So, yeah, I'll be seeing you around. Let me know what you think, and I'll be seeing you all some other time. Have a good day. This is Cherry ASMR, and I'll be seeing you soon. Bye!